Don't search too long because we want you to join us here on the Sunday Gathering. Welcome, one and all, to our world famous global Sunday Gathering. If we haven't yet met, I am Sandra. I'm joined by my wonderful friends, Carrie and Phil. We're actually finishing our 6th year of the Sunday Gathering, going into our 7th year. Isn't that crazy to believe? Something that grew out of just a little short term vision of giving a little hope and inspiration back in those housebound days in 2020 has become something that, boy, I'll continue doing forever and eternity. And on the other side, and with all of you. So, we are a global community that join us. So, whatever brought you here, we thank you. We try to put a little smile on your face, some joy in your heart, some inspiration, some empowerment, always remembering that we don't die, that our loved ones who have passed are still very much part of our lives. So, Carrie and Phil are two of the best mediums and tutors on planet Earth. The new film, Evidence of the Afterlife, has just come out. I saw it's on Apple TV. It's also now on Tubi. If you use Tubi, it's there and it'll be on other places as well. But it's really, really great. So, enough of that. I'm going to pass it over to Carrie. She's our chairperson for today. She has picked the music and the theme. I'll let her tell you some more. Over to you, Carrie, and welcome everyone.
Thank you very much, Sandra, and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Sunday Gathering. And I cannot believe how many years, heading into 7 years. That is incredible.
Feeling old. I'm feeling old now. 7 years.
Oh, you're 7 years old.
No, I'm happy with that.
Today we have the theme of keeping shining the light of truth. So the songs are all about that theme. Phil and I will be doing the address and the mediumship. We'll be sharing the prayers, and Sandra will be doing the reading, the healing, and the words of the week.
And everything else.
And everything else in the background. So before we go any further, can we do our opening prayer, please? Please join me. Divine, ever-present Spirit, as we sit within this space where people all around our globe are coming together under one umbrella of We Don't Die, coming together with the reassurance and the curiosity about what happens after we leave the physical world. Let us enjoy the music, the words, the mediumship, the inspiration, and the knowledge that when we leave this physical world, we join a world of pure love. Amen.
Thank you, Carrie. All right, you have me for the reading. Carrie chose our theme today, Keep Shining the Light of Truth. When I heard that, I started thinking about my own life. So in the early days, my friends, I tried to be the perfect Sandra. I thought if I acted in a certain way or was a certain way, that people would like me, right? I had to be perfect, but I was unhappy. And of course, I was very tired. It's hard to keep that up. As I grew older, I realized a secret that I have more practice being Sandra than anyone else does in the world. So, why was I trying to be someone else? Let my light shine. There is freedom in being exactly who we are, no matter what quirks we have about us. Because when we lie or pretend, we have to keep a really great memory to keep the story straight, don't we? But when we tell the truth, we never have to remember a thing. It comes natural. So let me tell you about a man who had to learn that the hard way. Here's my parable for today. Once upon a time, in a bustling village, lived a man named Milo. Milo wanted everyone to think he was perfect, that he was the most successful man in town. So Milo started juggling the truth. If he was late to a meeting because he overslept, he wouldn't say, "Oh, I'm sorry, I overslept." Instead, he would say, "Ah, yes, I was so busy. I helped rescue a cat from a tree." People would clap. "Oh my, Milo, wow, you're a hero." Milo tossed a little red ball into the air, his first lie. If he made a mistake and forgot to bring the potato salad to the picnic, he wouldn't say, "Ooh, I forgot." Instead, he would say, "Oh, I made the most delicious salad, but a bear chased me down and he ate it all." And people would gasp, "Oh, poor Milo, how brave you are." Milo tossed a blue ball into the air, his second lie. Soon Milo was busy juggling 10 different balls. He was exhausted. He walked around town terrified. Did I tell the baker I rescued a cat? Or did I tell him that I fought the bear? Did I tell the mayor I was born rich? Or did I tell him that I won the lottery? He couldn't enjoy his life because he was too busy keeping all the balls in the air. He had no integrity, and deep down, he was lonely. One day, the village held a great feast. Milo had been Milo had told people that he used to be a professional chef. So they asked him to bring the main dish. But Milo had made a mistake. The oven was too hot, and he burned the many roasts he had prepared. It was a complete disaster. He stood outside the door, ready to juggle. He prepared a lie about how his new oven must have been defective when it was delivered to him. But then he looked in the mirror. He saw a tired man. He realized something profound. I am the only person who will be with me from my very first breath to my last. Do I really want to spend my whole life living with a fake? Milo decided to put down these imaginary balls. He took a deep breath. He walked into the feast with the charred, blackened roasts. The room went silent. My friends, Milo said, his voice shaking, I don't have a story about a broken oven. The truth is, I got distracted watching a movie. I forgot about the roasts in the oven. The temperature was too hot, and I burned our dinner. I am so sorry. I messed up. He waited for them to boo. But instead, the burly, tough blacksmith stood up, blushing red. Well, the blacksmith grunted, since we are being honest, I tell everyone that I'm fearless and tough. But the truth is, I still sleep with my childhood teddy bear. I call him Mr. Ted. Then Mrs. Higgins, the most proper and elegant lady in town, raised her hand. I have a confession too, she whispered. You always compliment me on my elegant hats and my beautiful hair. The truth is, I really have very little hair and I wear a wig and wear this hat to hide my bald spots. Even the mayor chimed in. You know how I always look so tall and dignified? I actually wear platforms in my shoes just to be taller and so I can reach the microphone on the podium. The whole room erupted in laughter. The tension vanished. Milo felt a weight lift off his shoulders, and he could laugh about his cooking skills. He sat down and ate bread and salad with his friends. He realized that people didn't need him to be perfect. They just needed him to be Milo. So, what's the lesson if you haven't guessed? Well, integrity is doing the right thing, even when no one is watching. But it's also about being true to yourself when everyone is watching. We are often so embarrassed about our mistakes, but coming clean is the only way to truly be respected. When you drop the act, you find your home. And you know what? It feels really good to be there. The only home you truly have is inside of you. Make it a house of truth. Respect yourself enough to know that you, with all your quirks, your joys, and your human moments, you're worth it. So, like Milo, just put down the juggling balls. Just be you. You're the only one who can do it right. So, thank you for listening to my reading. I put a smile on my face and a good reminder for all. We're going to go into our healing segment now, and this is just an opportunity for us to offer our loving, healing prayers and intentions to send healing to the world wherever it's needed and whoever it's needed for. And we will send it, of course, for you as well. Those in the unseen world can use our human energy and direct it to where it's needed. And we know there's lots of needed healing around. So, talking about truth, the song Carrie picked is See You Again from the One Voice Children's Choir. And it is that truth. We will see them again. We truly will. So, let us just take this quiet moment, enjoy the video, enjoy the song, and offer our healing prayers. And when the song ends, you'll hear from Carrie and Phil for our address.
A beautiful song. It is a song that encapsulates everything that I feel and think when I think about our loved ones in the spirit world, when I think about us living here in this world, and when I think about memories and light. That light within us cannot be extinguished, not when we're in the body and not when we're out of the body. It just can't. We're part of a larger picture. Our light, when we leave the physical body, joins, I can only surmise, a universal light that's so bright that we feel as welcomed as ever we have before. At some point through a year, all of us will have moments when we get to a date when a loved one was born to this world or a loved one transitioned back to the spirit world. We know that you will have those. We know that we have those. When we were making Evidence of the Afterlife documentary film, during the making of that film, both Phil and I had a bereavement. My mum passed the spirit world just under 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, and Phil's dad transitioned to the spirit world a year ago on Tuesday. All of those moments have been captured in the documentary film. And what did we have to keep doing? We had to keep shining the light of truth. Not my truth, or Phil's truth, or Sandra's truth, but a spiritual truth that we matter, that we're here in the physical to make memories, to learn, to grow, to experience. And then when our light is dimmed because somebody leaves our world, it's up to us to make that light bright again by doing things positively in the memory of our loved ones, by living our life fully in their memory, by having the opportunity to remember the times when our life felt different. We all know after a bereavement, there's a new kind of normal comes. That new kind of normal is always evolving and always changing. But if you can keep shining the light of your truth, then you will be evolving as well. The saddest thing to see is somebody who is so deep in their grief and scared to move on, whether it be a parent, a partner, a child, a friend, or anybody else close to them. After nearly 30 years in this work with the spirit world, I've never heard a communicator say, I wish you'd stayed the same. I wish you just sat up in your home and did nothing. They all say, go on that holiday and remember me. Go down memory lane and take the memories of me with you. Both Phil and I have had our individual experiences that let us know our parents are close by. And when that grief strikes, boy, you know it's as sore can be. But when we live our life, living a life that's full and living a life that is true, there's something special happens. It doesn't take away any of the grief or the pain, but it allows us to set ourselves free from carrying whatever we're carrying that makes us feel like we'll lose them if we move on. The truth is, we won't lose them. They're with us every day at the right time of the day when we need them. Us moving on and repainting the house or moving house or sorting things out and looking through things and moving forward isn't about forgetting. It's about evolving. It's about going into those memories and cherishing them and allowing ourselves to have a life lived to the full. So when those moments hit you when that pain stops you and catches your breath, pause. But those other times when the pain isn't quite so bad, know that life is there to be lived. Your light is as bright as your thoughts, your words, and your deeds. Have the brightest light there is. Have the brightest light you can possibly manage. And then your loved ones in the spirit world will see you for exactly who you are, not who you were. Thank you.
Kerry mentioned memories there. And if we look back and reflect, we probably would have some fantastic memories. But I bet there's a few that you may like to have changed or had a different experience of or interacted in a different way. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to ask you to do that right now. I'm going to ask you to shine your light to create a memory for a young boy that is watching today's Sunday gathering. It's his birthday. Happy birthday, Oscar. If you, ladies and gentlemen, can make a memory so special for him by writing in the chat box, Happy birthday, Oscar, that would make my day. But I'm sure it will make his day and make his birthday as well. He's my new best friend because he says I only look 37. So that's took over 13 years off me. But there we go. But shining your light comes in many different ways. If you take a look at the screen, if you've got a gallery view and you can see Sandra, then you'll see her smiling. It's somebody's light, and we can look at what light is. We can take it literally by looking at the nearest light and seeing those shards of light shine on something, or we can look at it metaphorically, the light that we shine when we make somebody smile, when we make somebody feel loved, or we do them a good turn. Sandra mentioned something there that's in a book that's coming out shortly about staying true to your intention, even when nobody's looking, because that light is important. Because if we imagine ourselves right now in a place of darkness, and it's through your whole being, through its intent, is light, then if we all join together right now, there will be no darkness within this world. Our paths will be lighted in such a way that we could follow, that we could see where we're going. So when we talk about shining your light, it's about living in the moment. It's about living in a creative moment that makes you feel good, that you can walk and smile, knowing that you're living your life to its fullest, to its best, to its truest. And if we live like that, you never know who's watching. You never know who's listening. and you may be able to change their life. Just like you have just lit a little boy's face up. And I'm sure his mum, Carly, is saying, Oscar, Oscar, come over, have a look at this, read all these happy birthdays. Because even though I can't see in the chat box, I can see it moving out to my peripheral vision. So I know he will be excited. And yes, I've not forgotten you either, Daisy. Hello to you as well, because I'm sure you'll be there reading all those messages for your older brother. It is such a wonderful life that we live, to be able to have the freedoms that we have today, that we're able to go out into nature, we're able to walk through beautiful countrysides, down the sides of streams and through trees, taking in the fresh air, taking in the views, having time to reflect. Well, it's those moments that create light within our lives that help us make choices, help us turn corners and walk away from that darkness that once was there. Whether it was an experience or drama, we've now moved past it. We can see right through it, and we've learned. And as you walk with your light and you share that experience, you're sharing what you learned. You're sharing your truth. You're living your truth. And for me, there's no greater and more empowered moment than living your life with truth, standing with conviction, having your moral compass at its fullest. Your glass is at its fullest as well, because you're striving to create. Your light is shining so bright that it becomes infectious, like a smile. People take notice and say, well done. I'd like to share that light. I'd like to join you in that place. If that person can do it, so can we. What a world that would be. Shining very brightly, doing what you love. And love is not forgotten, is it? We might have family members and partners and children in the spirit world, but our love is so strong. Our love still lights within us, still lives within us as we walk through this world, through our journey, as we learn. And it's those moments where we have to question, we just have to raise a thought to those loved ones in the spirit world, and they're there, right by your side, bringing their love, their light, and their encouragement to you, allowing you to live, to put one foot in front of the other, to make those choices that make you feel better. And I know that you don't just do it for yourself. You look to your left and to your right, and you see those other people with you, just like a mother that looks after the children. It's not just about taking care of herself. She's got that responsibilities. And I can't just say a mother, it has to be fathers as well, and people that stand in those places. It's your actions, your truths, your integrity, the way that you live life that lets others grow and see how to be. For me, that is the greatest light in this world. Allowing others to see how you walk, to see how you live, to see your truths. The more that we can do that, and remember, there is always somebody watching, even when you're on your own, your loved ones are there watching over you. So knowing that you're living your fullest truth, even when nobody's around you, shows your intention, carries a truth within it. And as we know, a truth carries power, and we know power is energy. That energy is transformed and manifested into life itself, because we cannot stop or destroy a thought, because it's there as living proof. So as your thoughts go out to this world to be greater, to be better, to be kinder, know that that will happen, because your light right now is shining true. Thank you for listening, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Phil, and thank you, Carrie. Very meaningful words. Friends, we're going to move on now to our demonstration of mediumship. And happy birthday, Oscar. Thank you for everyone for putting that in there. A little boy is smiling from cheek to cheek. We're going to move on to our demonstration now. And this is an opportunity to just see how close our loved ones are. If you can imagine your loved ones by your side, joining you in your life, of course, they give you your privacy when needed, but they are your biggest champions. They support you. But through the magic of however it happens in the spirit world, we can project our thoughts elsewhere. So even though they're there with you, they can put images and thoughts and feelings within Carrie and Phil, and so they can do our demonstration of mediumship today. While there'll only be a handful of folks that typically will get a reading on a Sunday gathering, those in the spirit world step forward really to impact all of us. So just as I hope my story and Carrie and Phil's words impacted each one of you, I want everyone to pull the medium readings towards yourself. Witness how close our loved ones are. And maybe there's something in the message that you say, oh, I could use a little bit of that myself. So believe me, those in the spirit world work together. Your loved ones are with you. And that being said, yes, there will be some members of our community that get a reading today. Carrie or Phil, they're going to both demonstrate today. We'll give some initial bits of information about the spirit person that has connected with them. And we are still us when we migrate to the other side. We are. So we still have our authenticity, our sense of humor, our language, all of those good things. So, in whichever way the person wants to describe themselves or show themselves to Carrie or Phil, they will. So, Carrie and Phil, they'll describe the person, maybe who they are, the relationship, maybe what they did for work, who knows where they grew up, who knows what information they give. But I want everybody here today to be on the edge of your seat, really listening in. Could this be your person? Now, one thing that they all have in common is they no longer breathe here on planet Earth. They're no longer in a physical body. All right. But it could be a friend, it could be a loved one, could be somebody you worked with or somebody you haven't thought about in years. We've seen some very interesting things on our gatherings. But really listen in. Can you understand all the information that was just described? Now, we are close to 150 people here today. So it's important to have that integrity. Really only accept the information if you can understand all of it. Okay. Now, saying that, if you can understand all the information, you go, oh, I know that person. I know that person. That's my so and so. Don't tell us who it is. Instead, we want you to press your raise hand button. So, if everybody could on your device find that raise hand button and press it for me. And if you can't see it, perhaps there's three little dots that you need to press first, and you'll see a raise hand button. Why this is important is sometimes there's two or three or more people that can understand the initial bits of information that were given from our medium. So our medium will continue working, giving other bits of information, really trying to dial down who this person is. And if all of a sudden you say, oh, I can no longer take that information, please do us the favor. That raise hand button now says lower hand. So if everybody could press that lower hand button for me now and do that. All right. So please have that integrity. If nobody raises their hand, don't worry. We'll work that out. Carrie or Phil will get some more information. We want to make sure we get to the right person. Now, even if you're not getting the reading, it doesn't mean your loved one's not there. Like I said, they work together, empowering each other. If you are that person with your hand raised and you're the last one standing, so to speak, I press a button on my side. You're going to get a flash on your screen that says host would like you to unmute. Now, only then will you see an unmute button appear. We don't see you on camera. Don't worry about that, but we like to hear your voice. But we keep it simple for you and for a good reason. All we need from you is a yes, no, or I don't know to the information that the medium gives. This is anytime you ever have a medium reading, ever, from ever, forevermore. Let the medium do the work. Don't let them try to fish information out from you. A good medium demonstration consists of the medium knowing this information and telling it to you. Okay. So all we need from you is a yes, no, or I don't know. Please, if something doesn't fit, don't feel like you're going to get it wrong if you say yes. Be honest, have that integrity, say no. Carrie and Phil teach in their classes. No simply means new opportunity. And there's a new class starting tomorrow. More about that later. So, yes, no, or I don't know. Everybody else, just send lots of good, loving energy and pull towards you the readings, thinking, oh, there's something inside this for me. Okay. And that's all there is to it. Simple and easy. We'll turn it over to Carrie and Phil for the demonstration. We like to play a piece of music before that. We have Philip Phillips with the song Home, and it's one of my all-time favorite songs. So if you want to just enjoy the song and just feel that sense of home and just picture your loved ones around you because they are. So I'm going to play the song and then we'll be right back with the demonstration. Welcome back, everyone. Over to Carrie or Phil. I don't know who's going first.
It looks like it's me as I take that little step forward. There we go, and shine that light really brightly. It's always a catchy little tune that, as wasn't expecting it, so my mind's just a little bit in disarray. But we'll see where we go. One of those. We'll open that center. We'll let that light shine. We'll see what happens. Okay. So as I become aware of the spirit world, ladies and gentlemen, I know I have a gentleman coming forward. I do believe that he is a judge, and when I say judge, would have served in a court. And I do believe that I want to go to, I don't know what the equivalent is in America, but I know it's almost like I want to be a high court judge, or a crown court judge, as we call it here. And I also know that he is a very, very fair and lenient man as he comes forward, but I actually feel that he is father. So I want to talk about father in the spirit world that would have been a judge. And I also believe as well, he would have served his country. So I know here he would have served in the military as well.
Thank you very much, Phil. Okay, who understands this gentleman? Go ahead and press your raise hand button for us.
So always takes that little bit of time for people to come forward. If I've got the relationship wrong, I'll let go of that, but I know I want to stay with judge, or I know that he's heavily involved in law. In particular, I did feel judge. So somebody must understand that, because I can't take that back at all. There seems to be a real sense of and I also know with him, as I'm just getting that little bit more, there would have been involvement with, this is why I thought it was High Court, or something very similar to that, because I know there would have been connections or actions with either politics as well.
Thank you, Phil. Who understands this information or thinks you might? Raise your hand. Again, it doesn't have to be father. Very quiet here. No hands up.
It's absolutely, usually we panic, but I'm not, because I can't change what I've got. So
Maybe somebody has gone for a cup of tea.
yes, maybe.
Christy has her hand raised. Christy, can you see that unmute button? Hi, Christy.
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello, Christy. Do you understand everything I've said?
I think of what I heard you say is that father, judge, high court, and I can take all that.
High Court, that's fine. Did you say High Court, Christy?
Yes,
That's fine, because that's what I had. I couldn't change it. And would you understand your dad as being a very calm man as well?
yes,
Because, as I said, usually I panic, but I'm not, because I know that I'm being overshadowed by him. And I know that he is very reserved in his responses.
yes,
And if I said that he would always very carefully choose his words as well.
correct.
And I know he had a presence about him where he spoke properly and his words weren't elongated, but they had power.
Yes,
Because I know this is how I'm being influenced at the moment as well. But I also know this: when your dad spoke, people took notice.
yes,
And if I also said people just didn't respect him only because of his involvement with the law, but they respected his opinion.
yes,
And when I say that, I'm talking about the local community, the neighborhood we used to live in.
yes,
Because I know he seems to be well thought of and cared about as well.
yes,
But I also feel with your father, Christy, that he was a man that kept his word, his judgment, his integrity, his word was his bond.
Yes.
And I know it varied through life. Whatever he said he would do or help out with, he would.
Yes.
I also know he was quite selfless because I know there would have been work that he did and did not charge for.
Yes.
And I also believe he would have given his time towards people with less opportunities where he would dispense his knowledge to them freely.
Yes.
Because it feels where he took part in some kind of legal aid or charity work as well.
Yes.
There was a yes, because I know here that he seems to have that ability. And I know he wouldn't broadcast it, he would just do it. It was just part of who he was.
Yes.
And I also know at times you could see within his demeanor there was a lot of stress and pressure on him, but he never brought it home as such. He never took it out on the family.
Yes.
He always he had this wonderful ability where he could separate his emotions, where his family was. His family were important, so was his work, but there was that divide between the two.
Yes.
I also believe, Christy, he would have helped you in your life, not by telling you to do or be a certain way, but giving you little nudges that made you think.
Yes.
And I know he still does that from the spirit world for you as well, Christy, because there's a real sense of him wanting to be around you. He was a man of action as well, wasn't he?
Yes.
Because I know here he would have given you a hug, because a hug I can't even get my words out now. A hug would have carried 1,000 words. It would have said more than words.
He wasn't a real hugger. I remember
But
he would give me a kiss on the cheek, but
that's fine, because I know it's that in term of endearments. If I've got it wrong with the hug, but the kiss will do, because I know he makes me aware of this as well. I also know with towards the end of his life, there was an illness, a long illness as well.
yes.
And I also know he never complained.
No, he tried not to.
I know, because I know his demeanor says, I get on with it. I try and paint that strong picture. And it's about his integrity with others around. He's trying to set that precedent as well. Now, would I be correct in saying there was a time with your father that there was a chance of him going on to is it a Supreme Court judge, or there would have been some kind of honor where judges go to or get nominated?
He wanted to become governor of our state, but he
Ah,
decided not to.
that's fine, because I know there was chance of doing something with high accolade with his work, but I know he didn't do that. There was a sense of not doing it as well. But I also know he was very patriotic as well.
Correct.
And would I be right in the statement I said right at the beginning, he served his country as well?
Yes, he did. He was in the Marines.
Oh, please don't tell me, because he
Oh,
was in the Marines, because I know here there's a sense of him, not just from his knowledge and intellect being a judge, but from his experiences of life and injustices he saw. Now, you mentioned he was a Marine, but he must have been and seen action that wasn't publicly knowledge, but he hinted about where he took place or served in certain areas.
yes.
Because I know here there is also a element where he would have had involvement with politicians and government as well while he was in the forces.
I don't know.
because I know it transpired into the legal work as well, because there seems to be an element where it comes together here. But I know this about your dad. He was very much a man of his word, like I said, and I know he wants to say that he loves you very much. And I know you've been thinking about him recently. This is why he's come forward. And I also know there's a picture of him that you have displayed as well.
Yes.
And I know you walk past it daily and say hi, hello,
Yes.
because I know he's acknowledging this to show you that he's very much close with you, but also he wants to say hi back. And he is very, very proud of you, Christy, as well. Forgive me just 1 second because he's been a little bit personal. Would I be right in saying there's a little bit of a health concern with you at the moment, Christy?
Maybe.
Not maybe. Then if it's not you, there must be somebody around you where there's concern over their health.
Well, they found something recently on me, but they're going to wait for another year to do another test.
Okay, that's fine, because all I want to say, Dad has got it covered. That's what I want to say, because he's not concerned. Dad has got it covered. So I know here he's doing all he can, because there's healing being brought from the spirit world for you. So I'm going to leave his love with you, letting you know that he's very closely with you and that healing's coming your way.
Thank you, Phil.
You're absolutely welcome, Christy. It's a pleasure to talk to you. Good, good. Okay. Oh, I've got confused. It's not easy it's not hard for me to get confused, ladies and gentlemen. It really isn't, especially when they start to show me things so quickly. Because I know I've got a lady coming forward. I know, in fact, bear with me. Okay, thank you. As I know I've got this lady coming forward, I do believe she's Mother. And as I work with Mother, I do believe here she's not on her own for a start, but I'll wait for a second for that understanding to come. But I also believe here that she would have been involved in the police force as well. And I get the impression she would have been in the local sheriff's office or sheriff's department. So I just feel, and forgive my knowledge if it's wrong, but I get the impression that I want to be in a small town or a small district where this sheriff's office is. And I actually believe that she would have worked within, I know she carried out the legal side of police work, but I also feel there was lots of either admin and work like that in there that she would have done as well. But I also feel here as well with Mother, I also want to talk about another lady, either sister in the spirit world as well. So we've got Mother. I know she was in the sheriff's department. I know she was in that small district, if I've understood this correctly. And I also know Sister is here as well.
Thank you very much, Phil. Who understands this information? Press your raise hand button for us. Anyone? I just sit here and
Is
smile
anybody
until the
there?
hand goes up.
One of those, isn't it? Again,
Yeah.
I'm not overly concerned about it, because it just feels I can't change it. So the only thing I can do with it is drop Mother. But I know I've got this lady. I do feel she was in the police force in some way. I feel it was in either a sheriff's, and I could be completely wrong with this. This is my knowledge. This is the impression I've got. But I know she's involved with the police. But I know that that's true. And again, from the uniform that I'm seeing, I do not feel that it is in the United Kingdom. I feel I'm in the United States of America, or maybe North America, because I can't rule that out. But I know she's involved with the police force.
Thank you. Who understands this? May not be mom, but sisters in the spirit world as well, correct?
Mm.
Yeah.
If somebody understands it in a slightly different way, please come forward. Let me work with it, because there's like I said at the beginning, it doesn't take much to me to get confused, because the image that I got was so quick. world of a
No,
medium. But yeah,
you're
but
being
I
your
know that
authentic self. Sherry, sorry to interrupt you there, Phil. Sherry, if you could press your unmute button. Hi, Sherry.
Hi there.
Welcome.
hello, Sherry. What do you understand of what I've said?
I'm having trouble hearing you. Sorry.
Okay,
Oh,
so
now
you're
I hear
having
you.
okay, now you hear me. What do you tell me what you understand of what I've said, please?
I have a sister who worked for a city and for the police department. She was not law enforcement herself.
Ah, but would I be right in saying that she did, if she wasn't warring there, I can't get my words out. If she wasn't law enforcement, would I be right in saying she worked within the admin or that kind of area?
Yes.
That's fine, because I know that I've made a mistake. Like I said, I confused. I thought I had to. So it's sister that worked within that police force okay, that's fine. Um, but if I said that she was a lady that kept herself to herself, would you understand that?
No.
No. Okay, because I'm not. I need to understand this. There's something here. Can you just bear with me, Sherry, for a second? If
Sure.
you open your mind, would you understand another lady within your line of the family that would have worked within the police force or an area of the police?
No. She's the only one.
She's the only one. That's
There
fine
is
then.
there is something a mother who was former military.
Okay, bear with me then, because that's different to what I got. And that might explain the difference in uniform where I was confused, sort of thing. So let me just, and would you understand that lady in the military wouldn't have been the most outgoing of people? She kept very much to herself.
Yes.
That's fine, because I know there's things here that I can't change. So I'm going to try and work between them. Because I know I've got the two ladies, and that's where I made my mistake. So the lady that was in the military, would I be right in saying that she, even though she kept herself to herself, she had a demeanor about her that was quite strong?
No, I don't think so.
That's fine. Then I don't feel right, Sherry.
Okay.
As a medium, we get that feeling, and I know I've tried to open it, but
Hmm.
it won't. So I know I'm not with the right person. So either, as Kerry said, somebody's gone for a cup of tea, and hopefully they come back very, very quickly, because I know I've got to work through this. But I do feel that I actually want to stay with mother in the spirit world. I also know there should be sister as well, but there should be in some way between them two a connection to law enforcement, because I can't change this bit at all. And I actually feel I'm going to stay. There should be still some way a connection to that small place or town where one of them was part of the sheriff's office. I could be completely wrong. It might just be complete, just police. But I know here it's just my mindset, because I'm seeing images I understand from films, that take me to that small town and sheriff type police force.
Thank you, Phil. All right, friends, have a think. If you think you might be understanding some of this, please press your raise hand button for us, and Phil can work through it.
Because it's a shame to let go. And I know some people in the past, through the years of experience, sometimes they get embarrassed and don't want to speak up, and we get emails through to us afterwards. But I don't really want to let go, because I know we want to sort this out.
Susan has her hand raised. Let's
Okay.
bring her in. Hello.
Hi, Phil. Hi, Carrie.
Hello, Fusan. What do you understand of what I've said?
Um, the mom and the sister being on the other side, yes. And the law enforcement, not with the person that you're referring to.
Okay, just let me work with this, because I need to get it right. With your mum, would you understand where she would keep herself to herself? She wouldn't impose herself on people.
That would be my sister.
That would be your sister. So I got it the wrong way around. So with your sister, she was like that. And with your sister as well, even though she wouldn't impose on you, she liked things being done the right way.
Yes.
and because I know there's a sense here. But if I said that she also stood up for like advocate for people that have been unjustly treated,
Yes.
because I know there's this sense of injustice and also law and order here as well. So this other connection that is to the police or law must have been quite big on your sister.
That would be more on my mother's.
Ah, it's on your mum's side, sort of thing. So, okay, so like I said, it doesn't take much for me to get confused, but I know here. So, with your mum, then, where that was concerned, she would have been a lady that was for law and order. Understand? Everything had to be right.
Yes. Hmm.
Because I get that sense as well. There's something that's just not opening up here for me, and I need to understand this. And with your sister, I think I've got this now. With your sister, would I be right in saying we didn't always see eye to eye, Fuson?
Yes.
Because I know here there's just that I want to understand what's taking place. And I know here, and if I said that your sister didn't forgive easily,
Yes.
because I know here, just as I get to work, it feels like I'm working on her behalf. And it would take her a while for her to come round as well.
Yes.
Okay, because I know here. And if I said that when she passed, we didn't get to either sort things out or have final says on matters,
Yes.
because I know she's acknowledging this to me. And if I said that your sister could be also very stubborn as well,
Yes.
because I know that the responsibility lies on her part and she wants to get this across to you. One, she has not changed, but two, she's actually seen the errors of her ways and holding her arms or hand up to say that she was at fault as well. It almost to the sense where something very small was made into something much bigger.
Yes, totally.
And I know that she feels and carries a lot of guilt about that as well. And if I said that she didn't always speak the truth as well,
Um,
let me put it a different way. Would I be right in saying she spoke out about you to mum?
Probably.
Because I know here as well. But if I said that mum would not come between you
Right. Hmm.
and take sides, because I know mum stood in the background here as well. But with your mum, I want to say that she expected you two to sort things out.
Yes.
And if I said, because I want to go back to how she was, it feels like I'm going to stick to my guns. I feel that she wanted things done just so. She wanted things done properly as well. If I said that she could be a little bit old-fashioned that way,
Yes.
because I know here she has that, and she is, she would, your mum could also be very strong-minded as well.
Yes.
And I know she would not back down. And I'm gonna stay with something she's just impressed me with. There should be another connection that you've forgotten about to either the police with your mum, because I know there's another involvement in some way, and I know it's to her younger life.
Her father,
Ah, then, with
grandpa,
you saying that, would you understand her father was the police?
he was a judge.
Ah, no, there's something that no. Then I know there's something here to do with law and order as well. But where he was a judge or where your mum lived, would there have been like was it a small town?
Yes. Yes.
That's fine, because I know here, and I know there would have been in some way either where she helped in that police or within that area, because I know she's absolutely adamant about it, whether it was for a short time or not. I know she seems to bring that to my mind. Like she said, she's very strong-minded and to the point. I also know your mum is very organized as well.
Yes. Yes.
And I know she likes things just done so. And I also know with your mum, she said her part and that was it.
Yes.
And I also know she expected that from other people.
Yes.
And there's a side of your mum that was tough but loving.
Yes. Mhm.
And know this as well. And there must have been, not too far from where we lived, a park as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch
There must
that.
have been like a park as well, a recreational park,
Yes.
because I know she has memories of walking through it with you. But
Yeah.
where we used to live as well, would I also be correct in saying we were not far away from the police force or police station?
Um, I'm not sure about that.
Because I know there's a memory of walking past it as well, because I know she keeps on bringing this to my mind as well. But I know she's here with your sister. Sister wants to make amends. I know that mum's strongly agreeing with that, but it's the both of them coming forward for you, Fusan, to bring that upliftment as well. And I cannot get away from this police at all. With your work or in some way, there must be a connection to the police as well.
Not with my work.
There's still some way a connection.
Mm.
If the penny drops later, please email me about it, because I know here your mum's absolutely adamant with it. But know that both your sister and your mum are strongly with you to bring that peace to your life now and that upliftment,
Yes.
because I
I
know
went,
they've both been on your mind just recently.
yes, my mom passed a month ago and they were very, very close, inseparable. So thank you.
Good. Because I know they're both together. Thank you very much for coming
Thank you
forward,
very much.
Fuson. But please let me know about those other aspects
I
later.
certainly
Thank you.
will. Thank you.
Thank you. Good. So, ladies and gentlemen, I know I've gone over time with that little bit. I'm going to pass over to Kerry, because I took a little bit too long on that one, sorting it out.
No problem. Okay. I feel I have a gentleman here, and it's just changed. I have a lady here in the spirit world. I do feel it would be mum, but I also, oh my goodness, it's the day for getting confused. I have mum in the spirit world. I do feel she passed during COVID times, and you would not have been able to see her before or after her passing. I also get the sense that I'm looking for somebody who would have a nurse in the family who also was nursing through that COVID period. Can I put that out to our audience?
Thank you, Carrie. Who understands this information? You know what to do. Press that raise hand button for us. Santu has her hand raised. Santu, if you would unmute yourself. Hello.
Hi, I'm not totally sure. I might need a little bit more information.
Okay, so you would understand your mum in the spirit world,
Yes.
and she would have passed during the pandemic, and you would not have got to see her during her illness or after her passing.
When you say not see her after the passing, do you mean like not even for the funeral?
It feels like it was at the peak of lockdown or COVID.
Ah, okay. That part isn't correct for me.
Would you then, would you understand somebody who is still here and was a nurse through the pandemic?
Yes, I have an aunt who's a nurse.
Okay.
I don't know if she worked during the pandemic. I never asked her.
It doesn't feel, thank you, Santu, for coming forward, but it doesn't feel like it should, doesn't feel as
Yeah.
strong as it should do.
Okay, that's fine.
Can I check, Sandra, with our audience? If it was not mum that passed during COVID time, was somebody here have mum in the spirit world who was a nurse through COVID?
Thank you. Mom in the spirit world, but she was a nurse through COVID. Raise your hand, please. No hands up yet,
No
Carrie.
hands up yet. I know I've got this, perhaps got it round the wrong way because I know I've. Okay. Could I ask our audience, somebody in our audience has a son in the spirit world who would have been a nurse through COVID times? I know I've got COVID times here, and I do feel, it feels like son.
Val has her hand raised. Val, hello.
Hi, so I
Hi.
am a nurse and I worked through COVID and I have a son in spirit.
Okay, and would you understand your son would have passed during COVID times?
No, about half a year before COVID.
Then it must have been a quick passing, Val. Your son passed the spirit world quickly.
Yes,
Because it feels like there would have been some questions about how he passed.
no questions, just shocking, surprising,
Oh,
laughing.
because it feels like you never got to see him before he passed. It feels like you were meant to see each other and you didn't get to see each other, and then he passed.
I'm not sure. We did not see him before he passed.
Okay. And you know, with your son, he could be a little bit of a wind-up merchant. He could be a little bit of a joker.
Maybe.
Because I feel like he is having a laugh at my expense, but also during COVID times, Val, you had a member of your family pass to the spirit world of COVID.
No,
I can't understand this. Thank you, Val. Sandra, is there anybody else that might be able to understand? Because it's not opening up, which leads me to believe I'm not quite right with this.
Thank you, Carrie. Is there someone who thinks they can take this information? Julia has her hand raised. Let's see. Hi, Julia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
So, my mother died the day before the COVID lockdown, and her sister was a nurse. However, she was retired before COVID came.
And you would have had restrictions on your mum's funeral and delays there.
Mom didn't want a funeral, so it was
Okay.
right. It worked out.
Then, and Julia, you also have a son?
No,
No.
no, um,
Then, excuse me for asking questions, but you would have a brother in the spirit world.
yes, a half brother.
Okay. Because
But
I heard very clearly son. I just mistook where it was. With your mum, with your half brother, he would have been a bit of a joker.
I have no idea. He died as an infant.
Oh, goodness. Then with your mum, apart from him passing as an infant, I get the sense that there would be things about your mum's life that you don't know all about because she's not very forthcoming here with me.
Absolutely, yes.
It feels like there is gaps in the understanding with her. I also get the sense that she must have been a bit confused towards the end as well.
Somewhat, yes.
Because I know with her that there is this she doesn't like sharing personal information publicly, and she was all about her work and her job. I also get the feeling, Julia, that she was a different woman at work. She was looking after patients and people there, but I know when she got home, not saying you were a latchkey kid, but you would know how to look after yourself.
Yes, my mother was a very private person. It was her sister, my aunt, who was the nurse. My
Oh,
mother,
right.
yeah, so we got a bit of an overlap there.
Okay. Then, and they were very close, the two of them.
Yes.
Okay. I know that I know your mum is very private, but I also know with your aunt being the nurse, they're I've got to be careful how I say this. Mm. Your aunt would have passed with a cancer, Julia.
I don't think so.
Then would you know somebody in the family that is being treated for that at the moment?
No, I'm not aware of anybody.
And we don't do predictions here, Julia. That's not how this works. Not quite making sense of this. Julia, with your mum, would you know that she would have had to have intravenous drugs?
Not that, no.
This isn't unfolding properly at all. And would your aunt have worked on a cancer unit or with cancer patients?
She might have done, I don't know for sure.
Right. I know there's a sense of both of them being here, but I want to say that your mum, with her being very private, wants to let you know that she saw what you were doing this morning. You must have been doing something with your mum in mind. And this is her way of saying she saw what you were doing. I also get the sense from your aunt that she's sending all the best wishes because I know you're looking after somebody at the moment.
Well, actually, the somebody would be me because I've been very ill.
You've been very ill,
I've been
Julia.
very ill. Yes, I am.
Okay. Then I'm going to let you know that your aunt has all the best medical practitioners that side of life. And I know she is bringing that healing to you for comfort and to make the world better for you.
Well, I appreciate that. And I would say actually that I'm the one who was on intravenous. I was in hospital for a week on intravenous.
Okay, okay.
So,
Julia, I wish I could have done that slightly more concise for you, but it is the way that it has come across. Your mum and your aunt want to let you know they know what's happening, but we all don't, and that's the way it should remain. Thank
I
you very much, Julia, and look after yourself.
thank you, Terry. I'm very glad to hear from both of them. I am aware they're around and I appreciate the message. Thank you so
You're
much.
very welcome. Okay. Okay, I have a gentleman here. I do feel that this gentleman would have been husband, and I do get a sense that he at one time would have smoked, but I know there is a very particular cigarette. The papers would be dark, not quite cigar, but I feel like the papers or this, If it's a cigar, it's a very narrow one. I get the sense from husband as well that he would often be found pottering outside. And I know he had some kind of building or shed or hut out in the garden that had a bit of everything in it. I also know that husband is very quiet. You wouldn't find him demonstrably sharing his love for everybody.
Thank you, Carrie. Who understands this gentleman? Raise your hand, please. No hands up just yet.
I also know, oh,
we have Pete with his hand raised. Hello, Pete.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
hi, Peter. You have a husband in the spirit world.
Not a husband, my father. It fits my father from what you're saying, but that's why I just put my hand up because I know it's getting a bit.
Okay. Then with your father, then he must have been very much in himself. You didn't get very much talk out of him.
Generally, no.
And I feel like he wasn't very demonstrative either.
No,
And
probably not.
with his love, he didn't tell people he loved them that
No,
often.
no,
You
not in
don't
that sense.
understand that.
I do understand it.
Okay.
You wouldn't come up and say I love you, and things like that.
Okay. And this place outside, Peter, he would have a bit of everything in there. It feels like there is everything in there.
It'd be a workshop. Yeah.
And I also feel like he would have had some old kitchen units in there as well.
I'm trying to think whether he did or not. I know.
Because I feel like there's lower kitchen units in there. I also know he would have had a workbench, a wooden workbench.
Yes, we've had that. Yeah.
And there would be tools that you would remember, and you still have some of his tools.
Yes, I've got them all.
Okay. And I know that you have been looking, because your dad gives me this impression, you have been, because he brings my mind to the address, you have been looking at making changes at home. I know you had a recent bereavement, but I know your dad gives me this impression that you're doing the right thing by moving forward.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
I also
Sorry.
know, I also know, I know you have your wife in the spirit world, Peter, and I know she had an Aberdonian accent, but she could also be quite outspoken.
When it was necessary, yes.
And I know that she was passionate about the things that you still have family up there, Peter.
In Scotland, you mean?
Yes.
Her family, yes.
Okay, because I know there must be a birthday round about now because she's singing happy birthday.
We'll have to check out. I mustn't miss that.
She's a lovely singer as well. I want to say, Peter, that there have been changes that you're making that she wishes to acknowledge. She wishes to let you know she sees what you're doing and you're doing a grand job.
Oh, that's lovely. Thank you.
You're doing
Yes, I know it is.
you're doing a grand job. I know that she had a beautiful Scottish accent.
Aberdonian, Edinburgh accent, yeah. It
I
was
want
beautiful.
to, you must be planning a trip south of where you are now. Because I
Uh,
feel like she's going with you back to the old haunts and the old places you used to go.
I have been thinking about going back to Spain on a holiday, but I haven't done anything about it.
If you decide, please know she's coming with you.
I'm sure. Yeah, I'm
Peter,
sure.
I'm going to leave your father
That's all
and
right.
your wife's love with you and say
Thank you.
thank you very much.
Sorry about that, but I thought I'd just get in touch in case it was necessary, you know. Thank you. I can take everything you said. Thank you.
Thanks, Peter. Take care.
Bye for now.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is so important we get to the right people, and people being people have their own ways that they wish to communicate with us. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Carrie. Thank you, Phil. And it's good for everybody to think about when we get over to the spirit world, how are we going to use our thoughts and memories and feelings to communicate through a medium? It's a good question, isn't it? So spend a little time thinking of that. Speaking of mediums, Carrie and Phil teach our medium classes, and I'm so glad they do. They've been running classes since we began here in 2020 online, and of course, years before that. But they've got a new class starting tomorrow, The Gentle Path to Spirit. It's those for coming in entry level and those who wish to practice. It's a beautiful course. And this month, it's going to be about the clairs. We think about clairvoyance and clairaudience as our healing. And what's the other one? Clairsentience. That's our feeling. And I was so surprised taking mediumship classes with Carrie and Phil because I always expected pictures were going to come out of somewhere, right? So I was looking for pictures. It doesn't work that way. It all depends on your feelings. So whether you want to be a medium or not, I invite you to join this beautiful class because you'll get to understand how our soul communicates. And we actually look to our feelings first before any of those other things happen. And they tell how to really tell the story of those in the spirit world. So it's a fun class. It's an opportunity to just explore and it's great. So their website is mymediumship.com. They have other advanced classes and things as well. I have a link to their class on the main page at wedon'tdie.com. You can investigate it there. Also, I mentioned that new film, Evidence of the Afterlife, is out. And you can also find that at the main page at either wedon'tdie.com or mymediumship.com. Coming up this week, our friend Scott Milligan is back on Friday for In the Arms of Eternity, where we send healing. And it's also a demonstration of trance mediumship. Next Sunday, we have husband and wife medium team, Kath and Mitch Shirley. That will be our guests and our mediums and our speakers. I've got a couple great new podcast episodes there at the main page at wedon'tdie.com as well. One of them is about romance across the veil. I'm not going to make anybody blush, but that's the topic. And even if we didn't find true love here on earth, do we still have it on the other side? Can we find it? The answer is yes. So it's a pretty interesting conversation. And then also on We Don't Die, I have an episode with a lady who had a near-death experience. And when she came back, she's a medical intuitive and she's been scientifically tested. And there's some incredible stories of healing. So that's all there at wedon'tdie.com. Last thing from me is a shout out to our friends who have made our Sunday gathering possible. Thank you so much for your donations. It really helps us get the word out to as many people as we can and pay for the things behind the scenes, the website and the Zoom and all the tools and such. So if you ever choose, you wish to donate a bit to the Sunday gathering, you can do so at the Sunday gathering page at wedon'tdie.com. You can also find our upcoming Sunday gatherings to register for. And if you need a little inspiration, you can watch some of the past ones there. The last thing I just wish to say, as far as our topic of letting our light shine, I think it's important that we let our light shine as bright as we can because other people are having some tough times as well. It's very hard for us human beings to be living in this mind. They often say, don't go in here alone because it's filled with self-doubt and guilt and worry and thinking about the future or, what I should have done in the past. It's tough. So we kind of have to prune the weeds sometimes out of that mind of ours and put in some gratitude. Just accept yourself. You're a human being. You're doing the best you can. But when words leave your mouth, instead of feeding into the gossip and the negativity, feed into the positivity. That will raise your light. And I tell you what, it is so much nicer to be around somebody who's positive than somebody who complains and is complaining about this or that or the other thing. So we can make the mental choice for gratitude and for positivity and let that shine. And yeah, you'll attract a lot of people. I can tell you that right now. So that's my words for the week. I am going to pass it over to Phil for our closing prayer.
Thank you, Sandra, for those positive words. Ladies and gentlemen, it is that time where we go into that divine silence and we round this Sunday gathering up. So please join me in what we call prayer. Think of your loved ones in the spirit world and how they inspired you to be the very people that you are. Great, infinite Spirit, we thank you for that blessing of love this evening, bringing us all together for that inspiration for the coming week. We ask for that light that is true within us to shine brightly amongst others, that they may see the truth of eternal life, but also they see the truth of positive life, where we can manifest those things that are so dear to us. We can send those positive thoughts of healing to others around us. It is with that intention within our hearts to live our truest life, to live our truth, and to also open those doors for others as they watch us inspire others. Again, Father, we thank you for that blessing of communion, that light, that upliftment, but most of all, that positivity of the We Don't Die community. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Phil and Carrie. It's always so nice to be with you. Can't wait for the next one. Friends, we're going to send you off with a beautiful song called Brighter Days by Emily Sandy. And a thank you again to Carrie and Phil, to you folks, whether you're live with us or watching the replay, and of course, our loved ones in spirit. We are never alone. Let that light shine. Here we go. Go let your light shine. Love you all. Thanks again, Carrie and Phil. See you all next week. Bye, everyone.